Well, hi, good morning. Thank you for spending some of your time with me here in my shop. Today is September 8th, and I'm going to be starting work on this Crosley radio. But just behind it is the radio I just finished. And one of the things about the videos I make is I seldom show the absolutely finished. This isn't absolutely finished, but the finished product. Sometimes I fail to do it. This isn't really finished. All I've done is I just cleaned it up and polished it a little bit. Didn't do much to it. It still needs trim painting and other stuff. Still struggles with the noise here in my shop. But there you are. Take a little more work to make this disappear from view, these problems here, and but otherwise, and a little bit of painting in the trim, painting here, this radio will look actually pretty darn good. A very attractive wooden cabinet, the way they've done it. So, okay, now let's take a look at the radio for today. For today, and maybe for the next few days. Great big Crosley written on it. Very nice. So it would appear to me the cabinet's been repainted. It's had some kind of sticker on here that's left a color. Isn't that something? This can't be original. This just cannot be original. This has got to be. I can't imagine that's original. Okay, but maybe it is. Mod G-165G, I think is what that says on there. Well, antennas come off its support here. The support isn't much of a support. It's all loose. This would be the extended antenna. It looks like it has all of its vacuum tubes in there. There it is. It's a G-165 Moffats. Patented. Well, Moffats. Canadian radio patents. Patented 1929-1948. Moffats Limited, Weston, Ontario. Oh, that's not too far from here. Nothing's too far from here, really. Weston. Moffats. But it says Crosley on the front. There's a lot of that went on with these radios where brand name was well, look at these knobs here. Those are the original knobs. Kind of a brown colored knob. Wouldn't they have some nice blue thing here? This is also running into the cabinet. It's been mounted too far up the shaft. Sounds alright. As for the plug, tain't none. Tain't no plug. And there's a message. There's a message here. Just goes buzz. Okay, just goes buzz. Well, that's a good sign right there. The fact that it makes any sound, it's better than nothing. Well, let's take it out of the cabinet and see what we've got here. Surprisingly enough, these are locked on with holy smokes. Locked on is the word for that. Oh, this might be the end of it right here. Can't get the knobs off. Wow. Holy smokes. That is just cranked down tight as can be. Where's my screwdriver? Maybe it's too wide and it's wedging into the knob edges. Let's try a smaller. Holy smokes! It's just a little bit too much. Here, let's increase the power here. Wow, what is going on here? This is not supposed to have a screw-on type knob at all. So hopefully I've got something that will look a little nicer on here. Notice I'm not grabbing the handle. Grab the handle, there's a good chance with this kind of strain it's going to crack the handle or break it off the shaft. I'm grabbing the shaft. This one's much easier. Oh, that was a lot easier. So you never know what the problem's going to be with one of these radios. Getting the knobs off is the problem. This isn't quite in the center. Ooh, what happened there? The knob turned. No, I'm turning it. No, that's the answer. Bigger screwdriver. Yes, I'm turning it now. Oh, maybe not. Holy smokes. I'm going to have to smash this knob to get it off, or cut it, or do something like that. I think the pliers is just sliding around the shaft here. I'm not actually turning the screwdriver. And I should be able to feel that. I'm definitely turning the screwdriver. Yikes. It's just camming out. Wow, there you go. So if you're new to my videos, one of the things you're learning right now is that I don't edit very much. And whatever the problems are, they are. Some of the problems I make myself. And 'cause I do very little editing of these videos. It's just camming out every time. Yeah, if it cams out once, that's usually it. That's usually it. Wow, how am I going to yank that off of there? So it's all plastic. In fact, if you look at this one, can you see that it's not circular, it's elongated? And that's from the pressure being applied by the screw. Plus they're going down on this. So this is a split shaft. Can you see it's split in the middle? So it has a certain amount of springiness. So they're trying to screw a screw down onto something that's got springiness in it. Really not a good thing at all. How am I going to do this? Drill it out. Drill it, well, I don't know. Can you even get a drill to sit in there? Just pull it out. Pull it off! Nope, that's not going to happen. That was my muscular sound I made there. Kind of a threatening thing. I try to threaten the knob a bit. Listen to me, knob. You don't start behaving, bad things are gonna come your way. Like, I don't know what. Let's try it again. Jeepers creepers. I can't get the knobs off even. Yeah, this is just going to cam out. I don't think I can push down hard enough. Yeah, it's just camming. Well, one of the other things I do, if you're new to my videos, is I take a lot of coffee breaks. I'm going to take one right now. Maybe a good idea will come to my head. Okay, I've got an idea here. It's a lousy idea. Can I squeeze this knob into this shape and relieve the pressure of the screw and then just slide it off? Unfortunately, the knob has these. Well, it may not hurt. Oh, it's a tough one. I'd have to squeeze just this back part here. I don't think this is going to work. Well, I can crush it. And I can break it. Can I do it with this one? Can't get in the back part there. There's no way that's going to work. I have to pinch it on this back area. What have I got that will do that? Okay, well that was a good idea. Right up until the moment it wasn't a good idea. Wait a minute. These little guys aren't going to do it, are they? No, I can't imagine. Something bad's going to happen if I try this. I blew a hole in the... Just rip the whole thing apart. The objective would be to break these parts in here. How would I ever do that? Wiggling it. Just wiggle the thing off. Just wiggle it off. Because it's a split, I assume the knob is the same here, split knob. If I can get it to slide out a bit, maybe the springiness will help. If I can just get it to move a little bit. Just move a little bit. How am I going to do that? Put a wedge in and wedge it, but I might break the cabinet. That wouldn't be good. What about heating this thing up to the point where it's just so soft it just comes off? What about that? Kind of melt it off. I don't know. For the wedging thing, I can't get a wedging tool in there really. A screwdriver in there is about the best. But I just run such a risk of breaking the cabinet. I think it came out a little bit. Yeah, just pulling it off. Just push it off. It's ripping apart inside it. Something's coming apart. Here we come. Here we go. That's what was coming apart. A little bit of felt. Well, I got it off. Hey, congratulations, Jim. Okay, first job. There we go. Hey, fixed it. It's all fixed. I don't think so. The 2 screws in the bottom, that's all. holding it in. Look like 1/4 inch. Okay, radio. Out you come. Looks like the glass is staying behind. Handle was in the way. Just could have lifted it up, make it a little easier. Nothing going on in the cabinet, but look at the glass. Look at the situation. Somebody's got to glue it with some. Looks like it's been repeatedly glued in place. Blah. And bit of dust. No gold coins. No gold coins once again. I keep thinking one of these days I'm going to open up a radio and in there is going to be a bunch of gold coins. This is in pretty rough shape. Definitely in rough shape. What are these clips holding? I don't know. There's a light. Very hard to tune. Really stiff. Really, really stiff. Too stiff. Probably the knob itself is stiff in here. It does have all its tubes, but they're all rusty. This guy's been sitting in someplace bad. Someplace, oh my gosh, look at that. Well, the original filter capacitor. This one kind of looks like it might have been changed, but maybe not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paper capacitors, 6 anyway. Yikes. Only buzzes. So if it only buzzes, then that's going to suggest that this is shot. No surprise there. Is it a replacement or is it the original? I think that's the original. Just judging by how this wire goes back in under here. There's probably no use in operating this without changing, without doing this first. Or power this up with a DC supply and see if I can make it work without plugging it in. Yeah, I don't know about that. The tubes are in series, so it needs 120 volts to run the tubes. Could disable the high voltage supply here and then supply an alternate filtered high voltage to it, and how would that help? That would let me know if the rest of this radio is in working shape. Why would I think it isn't? Just because it looks like it's had a rough life. The rest of the radio being the coils in here, you know, in the IF transformers. Just about everything else can be fixed. The speaker looks fine. Okay, more coffee. More coffee before I decide how to approach this guy. Okay, I'm benefiting from the clarifying effects of coffee here. So the fact that somebody heard this radio buzz probably proves that the tubes are heating up. Doesn't mean the tubes are good, but it means none of them have an open heater, or I don't think you'd hear anything come out of the speaker. So I think that proves the tubes are at least the heaters are good. The buzz almost for sure has come from this. This almost for sure is original installation. So we're going to replace this with some new capacitors, and let's see, a 60, a 30, and a 20. Yeah, I'll probably just put 350s, 47 microfarad capacitors in there because I'm not so concerned about putting something in a little too big. And that should work. Okay, that's the plan. Let me keep the camera running. I'll just show you what I do to get one of these guys out of here. Almost always this band is riveted in. This is just as bad as taking the knob off. Holy smokes. Yeah, I shouldn't have showed you this, that's for sure. I should have kept this part secret. How'd you do that? It's a secret. I can't get under there. Okay, it's going to take a little while, so I will do it secretly on my own. Just got the rivet situation. You know, I'm going to get right in there and cut that. Go right in here. Good. Yeah. There we are. And that's how I get these out. Just checking what I'm setting the radio down on. Nothing good. Let's put it this way. Okay. This is going. This wire is attached right here. So the negative, so this is a B minus point in the radio. I'm also noticing that the capacitor is supported on grommets here. So the capacitor shell is not grounded. Although once in a while it's on rubber grommets, and then they do actually ground it. So this is probably going to say a B minus connection to the here. Something's going on here to attach to the frame. So the frame is not attached to the chassis. So I learned the hard way years ago about this, and by getting quite a whopper of a shock by touching both the chassis and the frame at the same time, and not realizing that they might have 120 volts between them, which it did. So since I'm not going to worry about the sizes here, you know, what the engineers were doing when they designed this, they were trying to get away with the smallest capacitor they could for size and for cost. And I don't have to worry about that because both size and cost not an issue anymore. Made in Canada. Very good. Okay, so I'm going to install the new capacitors. I'll do it off camera, and then I think we'll try playing this radio at that point. Okay, I've got the new capacitors in. Let's go tight. There they are. Okay, since I've decided most recently to just install 3 of the same size capacitor, I bought them in bulk, so I have many, basically 47 microfarad 160 ohm capacitors. It's so much easier to just put them in and don't worry about the original sizes. Original sizes here are 60, 30, and 20, and now it's 50, 50, 50. Sounds good to me. Okay, do we dare turn this thing on at this point? Sure. The reason is I have ways of keeping things safe. Just looking at the power cord there. Now, there's no plug on here, so we're going to have to use a cheater, a hyper dangerous cheater cord I have here. Maybe the last thing that I do today is fire this guy up, make a bit of an assessment. So I'll be plugging it into a dim bulb system. System's a bit of a big word for what it is. So if you watch lots of my videos, you know exactly what I'm doing. But if you're new, then what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you this. So I have this outlet box. It's actually plugged into this extension cord. This extension cord is plugged into this switch box, which I'm pointing at, but you can't see. This switch box. Switch box has two switches on it. One is turns it on and off, and the other one is a selector. If you push it down, the power reaches the outlet here, and eventually the radio, through two light bulbs that are hidden back here. One or two light bulbs, actually. Actually, it's just one light bulb at the moment. The other one's loose. And also, I have this device here, which I can set the voltage with. Which I don't usually do too much with that. That's an isolation transformer, and for some crazy reason, I've got that plugged into another isolation transformer. So man, that's big time isolation there. So what'll happen is, if this thing has a short circuit in it, if I booped up, or if it's got a short circuit I don't know about yet, it draws full power, it'll just light these light bulbs up, and I'll know within a moment that that's what's happened. Okay, we practice a bit. Tune it down to the low end of the band. This is really hard to turn. Okay. So the pointer is being pulled by one string, the one I was just turning, but it has a rider string here, which is, can you see that? Which is trying to control the pointer's physical position. And it's correct right now, it's just floating above the back panel. Not too far out so it scratches the glass, and not too far back so it scratches the panel. Okay, not to worry much about the condition of that. So on-off switch. Well, it clicks, so we're going to start with it off. Double check these wires here. Actually, I'm going to, just because there's so many ways to bring those things into contact. I don't want that to happen, so I'm going to just using, this is just masking tape, just to hide those away. Okay, here we go. So we're using one light bulb, this one here. Switch is off, nothing should happen. Here we go. Okay, nothing is happening. And right now, the highest voltage that's going to reach the radio is 110, but it's going through that light bulb. So draw some current, 110 is going to drop down quite a bit actually. So we are ready. So it's still off, cut the power. Turn it on. This time, what I would expect is this light will come on a little bit, like maybe half brightness, and then go down. And then 5-10 seconds later, as the radio begins to make noise, come up again a little bit. You can see a little bit of a glow in it. It may or may not work that way. One thing we don't want is for it to come on and just be blazing bright. There we go. It went bright, going dull. That's perfect. I see the little light came on here. That's great. Now watch it. It's going down, down, down. Turn the volume up a little bit. Now it's going to come up. It's going to come up. It's just gone right down to nothingness. We are looking for sound now. Oh, here it comes. See it? It's glowing. That's actual tube current, the actual current, purposeful current going through the tubes, not the heater current that's caused this bulb to come back on. Well, there we are. Let's tune this guy and see what happens. Reception, not so good. Oh, sounds like a short in the tuning capacitor. or some dirt or something. Funny it would come and go like that. And we're not going to pick anything up. Just make a quick check of the dial and see where the low end is. Oh, surprise, the low end. Hard for you to see it there. Low end's on the right side. Why would they do that? That's backwards. Okay, so we might pick something up over here. Backwards radio. Why? I get the whole radio designed and ready for manufacture, and somebody said, "Hey, the number it's going this way," and rather than rework the radio, they just put the dial on backwards. I like to make funny stories up. Okay, here we are. We're in the zone. Well, that's full volume. We're running it with 90 volts. That's a little low. 100 would be better. We still want to keep this light bulb in for now because we don't know what's happening. I'm going to turn up the supply voltage kind of behind it. Okay, so we're up over 100 volts now. That's enough to run these radios for sure. What was that? If my hand had any influence. So it's picking up a station. Pretty amazing, eh? String's pretty tight. A funny metallic clicking sound was this spring stretching here. You can hear the antenna waving. Okay, we're going to do one more thing. A quick check of the IF. I'm going to just tune the IF, listening to the station. Does it get louder or quieter as I make changes here? Oh, another stuck thing. Okay, never mind that one. This is just a... That seemed to be in the right spot. Not a recommended procedure here. A little more there. Now, it could be... I'm sort of focusing... It's kind of a sad way to put it. Kind of focusing the IF a little bit. And there's a signal that we're listening to, and then there's this horrible noise thing right beside it. And fooling around with the IF tuning is a little bit like tuning the radio back and forth. So I may have just moved from listening to this to listening to this. It gets the radio louder, make me think I'm doing a good thing when I'm really not. But it's not far out anyway. This is kind of a check to see if somebody's monkeyed with it. No one's monkeyed with it. Well, you know, like, is that good enough? Maybe I'm done. Well, there's a few other things we should really check in this radio. But that's it for today. Here's one we should check right here. Dirt. The off switch turns it off. Very good. Just going to turn that down a little bit. Very good. Okay. We're on our way with this radio. Fantastic. Let me top the power off here before I get myself in trouble. Thank you very much for watching. Tomorrow I will carry on. We'll probably identify 1 or 2 critical capacitors and change them out and see if we can start boosting the performance of this little radio. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.